you and told you to tell him this is the second time. This is constant with your attorney. I have a light calendar, but not showing up a second time.
He should be here, sir. I know he had a big calendar today. He had a bunch of cases. Can I call him? Or?
You can
And
go
Your
out.
Honor, I have a calendar call in front of Judge Kepler, so I can't really stay too long.
Well, we're not gonna wait very long. You can go outside and call him. If he's not here in 5 minutes, I'm gonna sanction him.
Yes, sir. I'll
All
call
right,
him.
go outside. Take 5 minutes.
Going back to Mr. Michael McDonald.
335-284, Mr. McDonald, with the defendant present out of custody. Mr. Mueller, why are you late yet again?
I was on vacation when the state filed the motion, and then you set a court hearing on a date I was scheduled for trial for the day back from vacation, and I'm actually missing another trial today down in Henderson to be here today. Now, in
You
last
started your trial at 9 a.m.?
10 o'clock, yeah, I'm going to be missing a DUI trial down in Henderson. Now, the reality is the courts have changed very dramatically in the last few months, and
That's
I'm
true.
doing my very best to adjust procedures. Now, I've spent almost my entire practice for the first time ever in district court, which takes a lot more planning and scheduling. Justice court has been removed from the calendar. Justice court is almost basically doesn't exist anymore. So I've hired new staff, I've put new procedures in place, but we're having a hell of a time trying to adjust all the changes you guys are doing at the
Well, that may be true, but that's only an excuse, and you need to be here. The court can't sit and wait every time on your cases,
Yes, sir.
and quite frankly, it's consistently
Yes, sir.
with you.
Yes, sir, you're absolutely right. I don't even disagree with
So,
you. You've
keep
changed,
things together, otherwise you're gonna be sanctioned.
sir. If you can figure out how to be in 54 courtrooms at exactly 9 o'clock, please answer for me.
Then
Because I'm in the
maybe you
process-
have too many cases,
No,
that's
I'm actually
not
in the
my
process.
problem, counsel.
I'm in the process of getting out of criminal law, so you win, okay? I've got to please close out the
I
case.
think you've been both effective and good here.
Yes, sir, but
In
the
front
answer
of me,
is,
but
Yes.
if you have too much, then
you've changed.
we're constantly waiting on you.
Yeah.
And that's not fair to anybody.
The docket
State,
went from 10 and 12 pages of calendar, so I could guarantee that I could come in an hour and a half later and there'd be no problem, to 5 cases per calendar. You're right, I can't adjust that fast.
Then
I'm-
speak to the Supreme Court.
All right, anyhow, I'm ready
All
to
right.
argue.
Thank you.
You're right, Judge, I'm frustrated, and it's not with you, but the system has changed very dramatically.
Don't disagree with you, state.
And Your Honor, the state requests that you remand the defendant in this case. He's violated the conditions of his release. When Your Honor released him to the medium-level electronic monitoring, you were very clear that he was to have no contact with his ex-wife, Candace Ruiz. He's familiar with that being a requirement in family court as well as his municipal court cases involving her. He knows that he's not supposed to be in contact with her. He mailed packages to her home. It doesn't make any difference the fact that they were addressed to the children. He was not supposed to be making any contact with her. Additionally, since I filed my motion, I've been informed that the defendant has also contacted Candace Ruiz via the internet by leaving comments on a GoFundMe page that she had, which included making references to 1488, which is my understanding is that's a white supremacist statement. Additionally, the defendant was interviewed by Mr. Sanson from Veterans in Politics International. That interview was placed on YouTube. I watched it. In that interview, the defendant admits to having wiretapped Candace Ruiz's phone. There's also history of a GPS monitoring item being found on Candace Ruiz's vehicle that was related to the family court case. That's why I attached some of those documents as exhibits to my motion. In addition, the defendant did a Facebook Live interview in which he acknowledged that he did mail these items to the children, which is a violation of the no contact order. He's not following these conditions.
Number one. Thank you. Number one, I believe my colleague has underscored what I've asserted here is the case. This is the state taking partisan sides in a divorce, nothing more. Mr. McDonald mailed, apparently, assuming everything she says is correct, mailed gifts to a couple of kids he hasn't seen in going on 3 or 4 years now. Now that's not a violation of the no contact order of any sort. Now my colleague apparently seems to be offended by exercising his First Amendment rights. Now, there has been no contact. This woman is a divorce case. I don't know if you handle a couple in private practice. They're full of bile and anger and hate, and this one seems to have enlisted the state in his behalf. He's had no contact. I want to evidence your hearing. Show me some evidence. He's had no contact. Apparently, if everything she says is true, he third party ordered a couple gifts to his kids. That's it. Now, how is that a no contact order violation?
As part of the no contact, my understanding is, and it apparently was in the papers that the state provided, that because divorces are, as you said, I think vile or
Vileless.
okay, and I totally agree with you, but I don't know her name now, but anyway, the other side was supposed to, the address was supposed to be kept confidential. Is that not the case?
I'm not following you.
That the ex-wife's address was supposed to remain basically secret, which does take place in divorces at times when there is, if you will,
That's all new to me.
threats.
The
I
allegation.
thought it was in there somewhere that she said that, and therefore his sending the package was basically, I know where you are.
No, sir, I respect, okay, then let's do an evidentiary hearing. Let's get this woman on the stand. Here's your text, your court. This is what you said to him. Movement restrictions of any type, parole, probation, means you're not to go anywhere near or around the vicinity of your ex. That's in your words. That's to be your ex-wife's house, or soon to be ex, etc. You're not to be around her on the strip or casinos. Okay, that's fine. There hasn't been a violation of any sort. Now, these allegations get more phantasmical and more tangential every time we come into court. Now, remember, there's no allegation of violence here. There's no allegation of malicious destruction of property in the underlying case here. This is allegedly recordings of a phone conversation that can't be authenticated. I'm anxious to get this case to trial because it will eventually be dismissed. Having said that, this man is not dangerous. He's not in contact with her. She's got motive to ill will. She apparently has some connections with the district attorney's office or the police department and has, in the first time in 25 years, found a way to enforce statutes that no one else has enforced against. Now, Your Honor, he hasn't violated the state of trouble order. He's gainfully employed. He's doing well. And things seem to be going well. I don't understand what the motivation being to put him in custody. He's on electronic tracking. It's not like you can even, it's not even like we have to debate where he's been. So I don't understand this. I think this actually highlights exactly what I've been asserting, which is the state's been enlisted inside of a divorce.
You didn't address what I asked, and that is, isn't it? I mean, that's what I'd like to know. Was there, again, allegations that this was supposed to, the new address, and I'll ask the state in a second, supposed to be confidential because of whatever's going on in the divorce. And, well,
I'm not a divorce attorney, sir. In fact, if I have to go to divorce court again.
I don't blame you.
I will kill myself.
Let me ask the state,
And yes, Your Honor, that is the state's understanding that this address was supposed to be confidential. That is what Candace Ruiz told me. I'm not sure if the documents I attached as an exhibit to my motion, if they state that, but that's my understanding.
that's where I got it.
Right, so I believe it is in there. I don't recall exactly which document contains that, but that's my understanding of that address.
I don't have, or I didn't certainly look up all the divorce documents, but that's for you guys to do. So, is it there or not?
As I stand here, sir, I am not aware of any, as an officer of the court, that any order that he has violated.
Was it the purpose that the address, the whereabouts be kept confidential? I mean, if you want, we can certainly look at the family court records, but that's really both of your jobs. If it's in there and that was the point, and I certainly recall that saying that everything was to remain in place, there is the clear potential, and I have seen this in limited understanding of family court, that when the divorce is extremely, what's the word, anyway, contested, and that the addresses won't be transferred, that only the attorneys in family court will be communicating. And yes, that is the subject that should be brought up in family court as to whether there was a violation, but I did say that all, at least my recollection, that all of the orders or the no contact would be maintained. Have you anybody looked at these orders in family court?
My understanding, the status of the orders, there was a protective order prohibiting contact with Candace Ruiz, that's the ex-wife, and that order has been extended. There's now a hearing set regarding that in September in family court.
Your Honor, let's leave it in family court. This is criminal court. There's no threat to custody, safety, the good order, discipline of the community. The man has already spent 6 months in custody as a result of this woman's machinations.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can I just be heard?
This is your motion, so
Yes.
go ahead.
Okay. And Your Honor, there's been a history of violence against Candace Ruiz by the defendant. It's part of the reason for the no contact. And the defendant has been on the internet. He's been blaming this entire case on Candace Ruiz and has been directing a great deal of vitriol toward her. So the state is concerned with her safety, even though the allegations in this case are forgery, perjury, and things that he filed in family court. That's the connection between family court and criminal allegations in this case. But
As I think I've said, I have a medical procedure next week, so when do we have a senior?
I know we have one the 22nd and the 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, but I'm not sure on the 17th.
Can you ask Cindy when we have a senior?
But the 22nd through August 1st, we have session.
Well, no, we don't have, we only have them on Monday and Wednesday.
Right.
So if we have one on the 22nd,
Yes.
we, unfortunately, because seniors are even busy, all we have is like on the criminal calendar days.
So we covers the whole time, is that drafted?
Okay, so 22nd. All right. I'm going to continue this until the 22nd, at which time I expect both of you to either look up the orders in family court or have certainly, if Mr. Mueller, you want to find out what, I mean, there may be other communication between the attorneys, I assume they're attorneys, in the family court case. I want, and I won't be here, but the judge to have the knowledge as to what the terms were, if this was to remain confidential, and I'll tell you my feeling, if it was to remain confidential and he sent it, it is, and it has been, I've seen it, basically, I know where you live, and that is a violation. So present the evidence, we'll have it at 10:30, make it 10:30, as to what exactly the orders were in family court. So the judge, and I'm not sure who it is, will have an understanding. Generally, I would agree with you, Mr. Mueller, that merely sending gifts to the children certainly isn't under normal circumstances, but as you said, this is a vile divorce. The parties are, well, certainly don't get along in any manner, and it appears from what I have read that the no contact and now a new TPO would tend to show that there was, that this is one of the cases, as I said, that I've seen where it was, you're not supposed to know, and will exchange, and actually there was no exchanges towards the more recent history. All right, so the 22nd, 10:30 for the continuation. And this is still scheduled for trial on the 3rd?
The 3rd is the trial date.
Perfect.
Yes.
This case done.
Okay, anything else?
No, sir.
No, Your Honor.
All right. I'm sorry, but I'm having a medical procedure, I'm out, so I won't be able to do it.
Okay, we have page 3.
Page 3, Lee.